In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 gears that move together to grow your auto parts store. Stick around and you'll learn how to master each and understand why you can't just focus on one in isolation. If you've been following Parts and Profits series, you already know in the last 5 episodes were a masterclass in how to sell more parts online. We started with foundation, which is cleaning up your data, fixing your tracking, and getting your margins right. Then we moved into paid traffic, how to actually buy profitable attention through Google Shopping, Meta, and YouTube. After that, we broke down organic channels, SEO, content, and on-page strategy that compound over time. Of course, then came marketplaces, how to use Amazon and eBay and Walmart to reach without surrendering brand. And finally, retention, the secret weapon that turns first-time buyer into a lifetime customer. Now, each episode was like tuning a different part of your performance engine. But today, we are putting the whole car on track. This is your e-com strategy crash course, aftermarket edition. Because most brands get stuck focusing on tactics. Maybe one channel, one metric, one campaign. But what really drives sales and profit is how all 5 systems work together. That's your distribution, catalog, experience, social proof, and retention. If you miss one, the whole system is fired. So, if you've got a brand in the automotive or power sports space, and if you want to build something that scales predictably, not just burns ad spend, this episode is your blueprint. Come with me and let's explore this together. Let's start where every e-commerce strategy begins and where most of them also end. That is distribution. Without traffic, nothing else matters. But here's the catch. The wrong traffic is worse than no traffic. Back in episode 9, we went deep on paid traffic. That's Google Shopping, Meta ads, YouTube. And the takeaway was simple. Not all clicks are created equal. Google Shopping is demand capture. It's where buyers already know what they want. They're searching for 2018 F-150 leveling kit or Borla S-Type exhaust. They're ready to spend. But that kind of precision only works if your product feed is clean and your data foundation is right. Which takes us all the way back to episode 8, the foundation work. Because bad data means bad traffic, period. Now you've got Meta. Meta is demand creation. You're not waiting for people to search. You're putting an idea in front of enthusiasts before they even realize they want the upgrade. Think about before and after clips, install videos, or UGC. That's what fuels discovery. And there's YouTube, the trust builder. This is where people hear the exhaust tone. They see the lift kit go on, or watch someone test your product in real time. When they finally Google you later, they are already sold. Now together, these channels form your acquisition engine. Awareness at the top, trust in the middle, and conversion at the bottom. Now, let's talk about marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, and Walmart. Those are the biggest ones for automotive aftermarket. We unpacked this in episode 11 where I said there's someone else's stadium. Get tons of foot traffic, expensive tickets. They're great for reach and insight. They're terrible for margin if you overcommit. Use them as learning platform, not long-term dependency. This is what I call channel orchestration. Not silos, not that we'll figure out Facebook next quarter. It's one system, each channel feeding the next. Meta creates demand, YouTube builds trust, and Google captures intent. And marketplaces confirm what market values. And all of that drives traffic back to your site. And this is where you own the margin. That's why I say distribution is the starting line, not the finish. Now, once you've got qualified intent-driven traffic, and then and only then does the rest of the system start to matter. Your catalog, your site experience, your social proof, and your retention loops. And without distribution, everything else is theory. Think of it like this. You can drive the best tuned race car in the world. Perfect catalog, slick sites, loyal fans. But if you never leave the pit lane, you are not in the race. So now, you've got the traffic coming in. Questions becomes, is your catalog ready to convert that traffic into profit? Let's talk about why your catalog isn't just what you sell. It's how you sell. Now, you've got the traffic coming in. Let's talk about one thing that decides whether that traffic makes you money or burns your budget. That's your catalog. We talked about this all the way back in episode 8 when we covered the foundation. I said that bad data kills performance. And this is where you feel it most. A bloated catalog with inconsistent titles, bad fitment data, or poor categorization, that's the silent killer. You're paying for clicks that your product data can't convert. And remember, in episode 10, the organic channel deep dive, I said your feed powers both sides of the business, paid ads and organic visibility. Your Google Merchant Center, SEO, and content all pull from the same source of truth, your product data. That means your catalog isn't just inventory, it's your growth engine. The better you structure it, the easier it is to advertise profitably, rank organically, and create confidence with buyers. Here's where most aftermarket brands go wrong. They try to advertise everything, thousands of SKUs, all treated equally. But not every product deserves ad spend. And I'm sure you've seen this in your catalog. Here's what I've got for you. Think about a 3-tier segmentation framework. You can segment by margin. Push your high margin SKUs that handle paid traffic profitably. You can segment by life cycle. New launches, proven sellers, and clearance products each need a different treatment. And you can segment by category maturity. That means some parts need awareness campaign. Others just need better merchandise. Now let's talk about bundles. Bundling is another overlooked move. When you combine related parts, say brake pad, rotors, or hardware, you defend against price wars. You raise your average order value and give customers a smoother path to add to cart. It's how you turn catalog complexity into a competitive advantage. We saw this done brilliantly by brands like Revzilla. They know which products bring customers in, which ones build loyalty, and which ones just round out the experience. That's not just merchandising, that's strategy. That's the mindset shift I want you to make. Your catalog is your marketing strategy. Every product you list, every title you write, every image you upload, it's part of the system that drives profit. Let's think about it at the executive level. This is where your leverage lives. You don't need to add 2,000 new SKUs this year. You need to extract more revenue from the 500 that already work. That's segmentation, not expansion. Optimization, not chaos. Because it's just like tuning a race car. Your goal isn't just to add more parts, it's to make that every part work together efficiently and, of course, win the race. Now that your catalog and feeds are built to drive profitable traffic, you've got to make sure that your site can actually close the deal. Can customers trust you, or can they find what fits their car? Let's talk about why customer experience is the real profit leak most brands ignore. So your catalog is segmented, your feeds are clean, and you're driving qualified traffic. But here's one brutal truth in the e-commerce space. None of that matters if customer experience sucks. We talked about that in episode 10 when we broke down the role of organic channels. I said that SEO isn't just about rankings, it's about experience. Because when a visitor hits your site, they're not just judging your content. They're subconsciously asking 3 questions. 1, can I trust you? 2, will it fit? 3, when will it arrive? If your site doesn't answer those 3 instantly, you are leaking revenue. So let's break that down. First, trust. If your site looks sketchy, slow, or outdated, they are gone. SSL certificates, clear return policy, recognizable payment options. These aren't design details. They are conversion levers. Second, fitment confidence. The biggest anxiety in the aftermarket buying is, will this part fit my car? That's why we have AC Spies data, guaranteed fit badges, and installation notes. All of these instantly reduce doubt. Every click of uncertainty costs you a sale. Third, speed. Over 70% of parts shoppers are on mobile. So if your site takes more than 2 seconds to load, you've already lost them. A slow site is a tax you pay on every marketing dollar. Think of it as a leaky fuel line. You are pumping money into Google and Meta to bring customers in. But if your site drips trust, fitment, and clarity, your profit spills out before it hits the tank. We see it all the time. Great ad structure, strong feed, solid offers, but the conversion rate sits at 0.7%. Fixing your site flow and page clarity can double that overnight without spending a dime more on ads. And at the leadership level, this is where operational excellence meets marketing efficiency. That was a hell of a corporate statement. But let's go back. UX, site speed, and fitment clarity aren't web design projects. They are profit projects. They decide how much ROI you can actually get from your media spend. Every 1/10 of a second you shave off load time improves your conversion rate. Every trust signal reduces bounce rate. Every product page that answers, will it fit, before the customer asks, that's dollars back in your pocket. Because here's the thing, your customers is not thinking about your funnel. They're thinking about their car. They've got a weekend project plan, a show to prep for, or downtime they can't afford to waste. The faster you can help them feel confident about hitting that buy now button, the more they will become your customers next time and come back and again and again. So yes, great ads bring them in, but great experience keeps them there. Now, even if your site runs like a dream, there's still one more piece missing: trust from people who aren't you. Buyers don't trust brands, they trust other buyers. And that's where social proof becomes your silent sales force. Let's be real, buyers don't trust brands. They trust people like them. What convinces someone to hit buy now on a $700 exhaust system or a $1,200 lift kit isn't your headline or your ad copy. It's seeing someone else do it first. We touched on this in episode 10 when we talked about organic channels and brand authority. And again in episode 11 when we covered marketplaces. Amazon and eBay dominate not because they're the cheapest, but because buyers trust what they see there. Thousands of reviews, real photos, verified installs. That's social proof at scale. But here's the problem. Most aftermarket D2C sites don't bring that same level of trust. You've got a clean design, great product, but zero proof anyone's actually happy after buying. And that silence kills conversions. Social proof isn't a decoration, it's the bridge between intent and conversion. Now, let's talk numbers. Multiple studies show reviews can lift conversion rates by 20 to 30% in e-commerce. But for high-ticket or technical products like performance parts, lighting, or lifts, that impact can be even higher because those purchases aren't impulse buys. They are confidence buys. That's why user-generated content, or UGC, is so powerful. And I want to be clear, it's not influencer content, it's customer content. Real installs, real sound clips, real results. It's authenticity you can't fake. It hits the same credibility nerve that makes marketplaces dominate. Every buyer persona has their own trust trigger. Fleet managers, they want to hear from other fleet managers. Weekend warriors want to see the garage shot with a wrench in hand. Pro mechanics care about install time, not aesthetics. So speak their language through the proof they believe. This is where most brands miss the opportunity. They spend thousands of dollars producing perfect lifestyle video, never showcase that imperfect proof that actually sells. At the executive level, that isn't just about content, it's about conversion efficiency. Every authentic review, every testimonial, every piece of UGC lowers your CAC because it increases trust before the ad click. It lets your marketing dollars work harder without raising your budget. And once you embed that proof across your product pages and emails and ads, you are not selling anymore. You are just confirming what the buyer already decided to believe. So, by now you've built the full flywheel. Distribution brings traffic. Your catalog turns that traffic into opportunity. Your site converts trust. Social proof amplifies. And here's the last piece that turned this into a truly profitable system: keeping those buyers coming back. So you've got distribution dialed in, your catalog segmented, your site frictionless, and real customers vouching for you. Now comes the part most brands never master: retention. Because scaling isn't just about adding more traffic, it's about extracting more value from the customers you already have. Back in episode 12, we dug deep into lifecycle marketing, email, SMS, and loyalty systems that drive repeat orders. Today, I want to connect that to the bigger picture: profitability and valuation. Here's the math. Acquisition costs are climbing every year. Can't outrun rising CPCs or competition by throwing more spend at the top of the funnel. The profit lives in the second and third purchase. Retention isn't a campaign, it's your compound interest machine. Let's start with email marketing. You have purchase flow, install guide, seasonal reminders. Open rates are north of 50%. Are still possible if message adds value. Teach, don't just sell. Then you want to add SMS. It's your urgency channel. Back in stock alerts, flash sales, and shipping updates. One of our aftermarket clients saw a 61% click-through rate just from a single back in stock text. And that's just not noise. It's margin in motion. Finally, map product life cycles. Wipers every 6 months, oil filters every 5 to 7,000 miles, brake pads every 25 to 50K. If you automate those reminders, you're not just marketing anymore. You are maintaining relationship. Now, layer on loyalty. Treat enthusiasts and big spenders like insiders. Give them early drops, sneak peeks, and points they actually value. I mean, look at Revzilla's approach. They turned retention into brand culture. Their customers don't just buy parts, they belong to the Revzilla tribe. And at the business level, this is where growth turns into equity. Investors pay more for predictable revenue than for spikes. And when your repeat purchase rate climbs, your marketing spend stabilizes, and your cash flow smooths out, your valuation multiple expands. You're not just running ads anymore, you're building a sellable asset. That's why I always say acquisition grows sales, but retention grows companies. So let's recap real quick. So retention compounds ROI. Every repeat order lowers your CAC, raises your margin, and strengthens your brand. And when you combine that with the other 4 systems, distribution, catalog, experience, and social proof, you've got a business that doesn't just sell parts, it prints profit. Let's wrap it up. I'll show you how all 5 gears fit together into one machine built for predictable and scalable growth. Over the last 5 episodes of Parts and Profits, we built the framework for how to sell more parts online. And today, you have seen how it all connects. And it starts with distribution, capturing and creating demand across Google, Meta, and YouTube, and the marketplaces. Then catalog, because what you sell and how you structure it defines how profitable that traffic becomes. Then experience, the fitment, trust, and speed to convert browsers into buyers. And social proof, the real voices that make your marketing believable. And finally, retention, where your profit compounds and your brand value multiplies. These 5 gears don't work in isolation. They feed each other. Distribution fuels awareness, catalog clarity improves ad efficiency, better experience boosts conversion, social proof accelerates trust, and retention feeds your audience back into the system. If you're a founder, marketing lead, or a private equity operator looking at an aftermarket brand, this is the playbook. It's not about hacking ROAS. It's not about doing gimmicky tricks. It's about building systems that scale profitably and predictably. And this is how you turn media spend into margin and margin into momentum. Because at the end of the day, you're not just selling parts. You're powering projects, restoring machines, fueling hobbies, and keeping industries going. That's what Parts and Profits has always been about, helping you build a business that lasts. If you missed any of the deep dives, go back and watch episodes 8 through 12. Each one covers one of these gears in detail. And if you're ready to apply the system to your own brand, see exactly where your bottlenecks and opportunities are, book a Scube game plan. We'll show you the levers that actually drive growth. And that's it. This is the end of series of Parts and Profits on how to sell more parts online. Hit subscribe if you don't want to miss what's coming next, because in the next series, we're going even deeper into the systems that scale aftermarket brands. I'm Tom from Scube Marketing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.